Hiya then folks, welcome to episode 8 of Boating on a Budget. We've made it to episode 8 so far and we're both still alive. We've not killed each other yet.
Only just.
Not thrown each other overboard or anything. But now, so on this episode, we're going to be stripping around. Taking everything out of here. Get us a clean space to work from. While doing that, we can obviously see what the actual main framework's like, see whether we can reuse that or whether we are going to need a new framework. Obviously, like we said, the fiberglass is coming off. It's just whether we can use any of the framework that the fiberglass is fitted to, or whether it is literally build it all new. But as soon as we start getting the inside panelling off, we'll see better with that. So we're going to have a couple of days of good fun, aren't we?
Yeah, can't wait.
But we do have to be a bit careful while we're doing it, because obviously if we just literally go at it like Tasmania, we'll end up with fiberglass insulation and bits of wood everywhere, and then it'll take twice as long to clear it up. And we do want to try and maybe reuse some of the bits.
Yeah, definitely.
Any of the timbers that are alright, we don't want to just throw them out just for the sake of it. So it is a balancing act. We don't want to be spending a week getting every little bit of wood out, but likewise we don't want to be chucking out stuff that is usable.
Yeah.
So yeah, the only thing we are going to leave in is the kitchen. We're going to leave that in, aren't we? Probably right until we're ready to fit the new one, so that we have got somewhere to make
a brew and food and things.
Yeah, bacon butties and a cuppa. So, but apart from that, everything else is coming out, and as you can see, hopefully there on the table, we've got the tools lined up, so I think we better get cracking. First job then is going to be taking things like these doors, this wall, the wall through to the bedroom out. From there then we've got sort of a clear workspace to work from. But like we said, this is going to take a few days, we reckon, to get it all stripped out. So we're not going to show every little detail of us taking every piece of wood and every bit of insulation out, because frankly the video would be about 5 hours long. So what we're going to do instead is, as we do bits, we'll kind of do little bits of recording, just sort of keep you updated as to what we're doing, what we find, anything that's good, anything that's bad, and we'll take it from there. So, as I'm taking everything off, hinges, handles, stuff like that, we are saving all those. Again, they're perfectly usable, and the tight Yorkshireman likes to save money. And it would be surprising how much things add up. I mean, I've just took an hinge off. I bet they're £3 or £4 a pair to buy them new. And we're going to need a few sets for the different doors. Same with the handles, you're talking, each one only seems like a little bit, you know, a couple of quid for an handle, a couple of quid for a latch, a couple of quid, £3 for a hinge. But by the time you've done the full boat, anything we're taking off that's usable, might as well reuse it. Dawn's first job, taking down them lovely curtains you made. Tell me, seems like about a month since you put them up, love. And now you're taking them down already.
But they've served us well.
They did the job we needed. They kept us nice and private while we were up and down to dry dock and what have you. Just need to go and find some fabric now to make some new ones when we start to rebuild it.
Yep.
So things you find when you're emptying a boat. We've got a sword. Even the tight Yorkshireman's not going to reuse bits like this. By the time we've done trying to get this tongue and groove off, like you see on this side, the pieces are only going to be fairly short, and as you can see with this one, it's splintering as it comes off. So there's only one thing for this, and that's that it's going to keep Dawn warm as it goes through the chimney. This is the not so nice part, isn't it, love? There she is, all masked up, gloved up, pulling the old loft insulation type stuff out. You enjoying it, Dawn? Yeah. Yeah, so as we're stripping this side out, this shows one problem that obviously we're highlighting. All this down here, behind the old wood panelling, is just damp and full of mould. So obviously if we just tried to rebuild in front of that, all we'd have been doing is covering that up for it to rear its ugly head at a later date. Hence why we are going to the trouble of stripping it out. This also highlights other issues of things hidden behind panelling. As you can see, there'd been a cable join there at some stage that was up behind this panel. Again, if that had broken or stopped working, how would we have ever found that? You see here the old hatch that was in the kitchen, just how mouldy and rotten all the framework's gone. Again, all that was obviously hidden, but now we're starting to strip it out. You can actually see all this timber probably does date back to when the boat was first built back in 1977. Again, down in the kitchen you can see Dawn's just stripping the last of the insulation off behind that panel there. Obviously, just to clarify, we are wearing the dust masks because this is pretty nasty stuff. But you can see just behind that bit there wasn't actually any insulation there, so obviously that would have been a really cold spot, letting all the cold air in from around the window. And that's what we'll be concentrating on when we rebuild, making sure it's nice and airtight, because you don't want to be cold, do you, love?
No.
That was a no, by the way. As we're pulling the section out from under the gunnels, you can see this is all the old insulation that has certainly seen better times. There's a pencil there that's been there quite a few years, I reckon. So I think we can safely say it were definitely due. We've got a secret hatch in the wall. Do we think we're going to find gold bullion behind it? Let's have a look. Oh, can't even get the secret hatch out. Oh.
Insulation.
Oh, we're a bit disappointing. I think that bit we're just about ready for renewing. As we look up here into the ceiling, we can see where obviously the side hatch is there. This is where it used to completely open up across the roof as well. The bit on the outside used to slide back, and then you could lift that top bit up and that would reveal a complete open space all the way from there and all the way up to there. Be nice if we can redo that, wouldn't it? Be a nice open space, lots of air. So we'll have a look and see if we can rebuild that sort of design as we start to put the boat back together. Putting it back together, he says. That's a long off dream. One thing we have found that might just put a little spanner in the works for one of our little ideas is just under here, which is under the gunnels. As you can see, that's the windows, and then this was the side behind the settee. That's obviously right at the back there. That's the gas pipe that feeds the hob, what we'd intended doing is leaving the kitchen in, like we said earlier, so that we could at least make a brew and things. But all this needs to come off, which means stripping the gas pipe out, and therefore it's probably not worth refitting that until we're ready to rebuild the boat. So we might have to look at an alternative solution for making a brew while we're here. Well, this is the story about 3 hours in. There's been 3 of us at it, me, Dawn and my daughter Kate, and we've got kind of the underneath the gunnels stripped out. You can see this bit down by the kitchen is in pretty bad state, and you can see there is a little bit of water under there, so we'll have to have a look and deal with that. And then as we look down the boat, you can see we've stripped all the top section off. If I walk down, got the wall out where the bathroom was. One of the next jobs is the really fun job of taking the toilet out. Really looking forward to that. And then we've got, if we look up, it's probably a bit tricky to see from filming, but basically that's, if you like, a suspended ceiling inside the boat. Between that and the roof there is the loft insulation, as you can perhaps just see through that old air vent. So each section of the ceiling, which is probably in maybe 10 or 12 foot lengths, needs to come down, and that'll reveal a load of old insulation that we'll have to deal with. But we are making progress, and so far we've not found any great horror stories to alarm us. Like I say, if we've been trying to rebuild it as it was, I think there's quite a few things that would have worried us. But so this is the bulkhead between the engine bay and obviously into the main boat, and as we can see, the heat proofing and insulation has somewhat broke down. I think it's definitely well overdue being replaced. So we're coming to the end of the first day of stripping the boat out, and it is a lot harder work than you'd kind of imagine, isn't it, love?
Yeah.
You kind of think, oh, we'll have that done in an hour or two, but alas, no, it takes a little bit longer than that.
It put up a bit of a fight, didn't it?
Yeah, but we've done all right. We've got basically under the gunnels stripped out through the kitchen and living area, and up and round the windows, more or less on both sides. We've got the wall out that was the bathroom wall through into the living room, which has revealed the holes in the floor in the bathroom. And then as we spin round and look back that way, and so we've got basically the dinette took out. For now we have still got the kitchen area in that Dawn's making use of, making us a brew. And you'll see there, that's the laptop that's set up because we're about to go live on YouTube in a few minutes. But yeah, we're doing alright. So we've not found anything too dramatic. Lots of things that would have caused issues if we've just been trying to rebuild the boat without stripping it all back. Things like wires that led to nowhere and cables that were in the middle of nowhere. And we found this, our own little air conditioning, which as you can see there, all straight to the outside of the boat. But yeah, so that's end of day one. Stripping out, making progress. Lots more to do though. So we'll end part one of the strip out here. However, we will continue stripping the rest of the boat out pretty much the same way as we've been doing it today. In the next episode, we'll bring you the highlights of the process and then have a good look around at what we're left with, and then finalise the plans for how we're going to rebuild the top half of the boat. We hope you've enjoyed the video. If so, click the like button, and if you're not already subscribed to the channel, click the subscribe button. It is free, and by clicking the bell icon That means you'll get notifications every time we put a new vlog on. And each time we put a vlog on, that means the project's progressed a little bit further. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you all soon.